Well, welcome to another episode of Plants by Jasmine. I'm Jasmine, and this is my journey of becoming a plant collector. I've been a plant mom for many, many years. I have had monsteras, I've had pothos, and it's been a really great time, but I thought that it was time to do something a little bit different. And I wanted to challenge myself. Let's get some Hoyas up in here. Let's get some good stuff. So, as you know, the past few months, I have been going around Denver and then other states touring plant shops, learning a little bit more about the plant community and collecting plants. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. I have compiled 20 AI questions. I went onto our lovely ChatGPT and said, hey, ask me 20 plant questions that I may or may not have answered yet. So the first question is, what is your favorite type of plant to grow and why? My favorite plant to grow right now are monsteras. I think that they're just so easy. Just about anyone can do them. I have propagated a lot of them. I just really enjoy the monstera and how they look. So I would say monstera is probably my most favorite right now, but we'll see once I start collecting more Hoyas. Do you prefer flowering plants, leafy plants, or succulents? And I will say I'm a big leafy girl. I love a big green leaf. I love small green leaves. I love pink leaves. I love all the in-between unless it's a sign that they're dying. I've never really been huge into the beautiful flowering summer arrangements that you'll get to put out on your deck. I just kill them very quickly. I do like succulents, but again, I've killed many of them. I have had few survive, but they're pretty to look at. I have more luck with the leafy plants like the monsteras and pothos and things like that. That would be my most preferred type of plant. Have you ever grown any rare or exotic plants? And the answer is no, I actually really haven't, because I've always just been a plant mom. I've just been keeping the plants that I've had alive since I got them, and I haven't really explored past that until recently. You guys have joined me for that. So I've collected a lot of Hoyas over the past couple of months, and it's exciting. That's about as exotic as I've gotten thus far. What is the most challenging plant you've ever tried to grow? I bought I guess this is an exotic plant, but it was a palm. You can see it here. And I brought it home without really doing a lot of research about it. It got spider mites due to not enough humidity, and it quickly died. So that was my most challenging plant that I will never get another one again unless I live in Florida, maybe. Hey. Rude, come here. Do you prefer indoor or outdoor gardening? I have not gardened since I was a child. We grew up on some land and we had a huge garden all the time. I was always barefoot out there getting potatoes and carrots and corn and anything you can think of. And that was so fun. I would like to get back to that point, and I haven't done much gardening since indoor or outdoor. So it's just your house plants for me right now until I get a house. What's your go-to plant for low light conditions? Yeah, if you've been in plants for a while, you're gonna go with your snake plant. Snake plants are the best for low light conditions. I've had one in one of our bathrooms that gets no light whatsoever, just fluorescent lights, and it's doing just fine. I water it every 2 weeks. That's embarrassing to say, but yeah, it gets watered every 2 weeks and it's doing great. It has new fresh babies coming out. It's doing awesome. So if you're new to the plant world, go get you a snake plant. If you're in an apartment with low light, it's gonna do just fine, and it's gonna purify your air. It's gonna be great. Are you a fan of growing herbs? If so, which ones? I have not grown herbs ever, actually. It's definitely something that I've been interested in doing over the past couple of years. I've just never really ventured to actually make it happen. I always say I'm gonna do it and then I don't do it, but I just know that having herbs, especially fresh herbs in your kitchen, is just honestly just comes in clutch because you don't have to go to the store and buy those crunched up bay leaves. You can just get the bay leaf or get the rosemary out of your kitchen and you're fine. But I'm just not there yet. I hope to be eventually. I'm hoping that once I actually have a house that I will do more of those fun types of projects. Also, I'd just like to say, do you say herbs or herbs? Because this is a question I've had for a long time. Herbs or herbs? Let a girl know. Have you ever propagated plants from cuttings and how did it go? If you watched this video or this video, then you know that I have chopped up a lot of plants, some more successful than others, and I do best with water propagation. For me, water is just always the way to go. I chop it up, I let it sit for 24 hours, let it dry, the cut, and then I put it in water and I get lucky, I guess. I don't know. It just works really well for me. The problem that I have is putting them in soil after they've been in water for months and months and have a good root system. For whatever reason, I really struggle with getting them into the soil and actually getting them to grow. I think that there are some things that I could do to make it better, and that's something that I'm trying to explore here on my plant journey as I become more of a collector than just a passive plant mom. Is your favorite plant for air purification? I just stated it. It would probably be, the snake plant, because it's very easy for anyone to have. They purify the air really well, but also I would like to state, I have a huge pothos in my room, and I have 2 large monsteras in my room and tons of plants in my living room, and they all do a really good job about purifying my air too. If you have a little experience in monsteras, and then beyond that, you're coming with me. We're learning together. We're figuring this out because I'm learning. All right, next. Do you have any plants with unique colors or variegations? The answer is yes. The best one that I have is this cultivar Birkin. So this Birkin cultivar variegation is really beautiful. And it's super exciting just seeing it all come in and new leaves come in that have some really pretty variegations. So I would say this is my most beautiful plant. My pothos also has some really cool variegations going, but it's just a regular run-of-the-mill pothos. But I guess due to some of the leaves getting more sunlight than others, they get the white streaks that are really nice too. How often do you water your plants and what's your watering routine like? I want to say I water my plants every single weekend, so like clockwork. Sunday mornings are my days to water. But I would be lying to you because life happens and sometimes I fail on Sundays to water my plants. Sometimes it's Monday night. One thing that I have learned is that watering plants in the morning is better due to Editor Jasmine here. I wanted to tell you what Turgor Pressure really is because it's a little different than what I was explaining in the video. Essentially, Turgor Pressure is the pressure of the cells within the plant that create this pressure against the stem and the leaves so it becomes rigid, so it stands up. If a plant doesn't have enough water, there's not very high turgor pressure. Therefore, you're going to see that it goes a little limp. So the cell doesn't have enough water to actually create that turgor pressure to press against the cell walls and create a more rigid plant that stands up. So essentially, that's turgor pressure. Anyway, back to the watering routine. Yeah, weekly, sometimes bi-weekly. And it also depends on the season and it depends on the plant. So you figure it out. Do you use any fertilizers or plant food for your plants? And if you know me, you know that I am an Arber girl. I love Arber. I love the root boost that they have. I love the plant food. Those are the 2 products I've used, but they have loads of other products as well that I really, really appreciate. They make it super simple with their measuring cup. That's super nice. And it's just really easy to order on their website. And you can find it at Walmart sometimes, which is really nice. But I really appreciate the ratios. I just really love Arber. This is not a paid sponsorship at all or partnership. I just really like it. Don't know what you use, but I like Arber. I'm not a miracle girly at all. Don't use it. Negative. Don't do it. How do you deal with pests or diseases on your plants? And the answer is I figure it out. So due to the fact that I don't have hundreds of plants, I don't have major issues with insects. I do get your fungus gnats. You water your plant a little too much in the wintertime, it stays soaked a little longer than you expected. I don't know, whatever the case is, they really like those wet conditions. When that situation comes up, I got this really great mixture over here on TikTok. She's amazing, we love her. But she basically has this really great mixture that is composed of water, Dr. Bronner's peppermint liquid soap, alcohol, 90% or so, along with your neem oil. And you shake that up real good, spray bottle, and you spray it on your plants. It'll clean the leaves, but it'll also take care of those pests. It's really good at preventing pests as well. Not a guarantee, obviously. And that has helped me a lot with fungus gnats and spider mites when I got those on the palm that I had. I got rid of them quickly on the most part. So you just want to spray it on your plants a couple times a week and eventually you'll see your insects disappearing. Depending on who you talk to though, like Bridget, if you watch the Utah plant shop tour, you know that she uses Contos, which is an antifeeder. So when those non-beneficial bugs eat the antifeedant, they die. She uses beneficial bugs. Specifically, the lacewing larva is one that she likes to use because they're not going to infest your house. They're going to stay on the plants. They're just little larvas, and then they'll die off once they don't have anything else to eat. What's the most memorable plant-related experience you've had? I had a cactus one time. I got it when I had my studio apartment in Arkansas. I got zero light in that place and I never watered it, ever. I don't think it ever got enough light. And I think at least a few times I left it out in the scorching, humid heat of Arkansas and it died a very brutal death. And I think one time I even stepped on it. It was just a whole situation. Very memorable because it was one of my first personal plants that I had that I literally just destroyed. It was so bad. I did have my snake plants in this really big, beautiful pot. They were in this plant stand that was by my TV stand in a different apartment that I had. And I walked in one day. When I opened up the door, it was very heavy. And I was like, oh, great. And I kept pushing and I peeked into the door and I noticed that Maisie and Honey had completely destroyed this plant, knocked it over. Soil was everywhere. The plant was all over the place. Luckily, snake plants are very durable and forgiving, and I was able to repot it and it was just fine. Do you grow any edible plants like vegetables or fruit? The answer is no. Like I've said a ton of times in this video, very indoor plant. I have grown vegetables, I've grown fruit, but that was when I was much younger in my life. What's your opinion on growing plants in self-watering pots? I love this question because it relates to the Denver Plant Club video. We learned a little bit about self-watering pots, the importance of a wick system and why you need that. And if you don't have that, what happens? And the type of plants that are really important to avoid putting in self-watering pots. Currently, I don't have any. I think that my spike moss that died aggressively, I have realized that plants that need a lot of water are not for me. You will not see them on PBJ very often, so please don't expect that in the near future because it's not gonna happen. But if I ever did get something like that again, then I would invest in a good wick system self-watering pot. Are there any plants you've always wanted to grow but haven't yet? Yes, there are plenty. I would love to have an anthurium in my house. I'd love to have an alocasia in my house, but I think that there are still some things that I need to work through and some growing that I need to do as a plant collector before I invest in those plants, because I've noticed it's really fun just to buy plants and then not know anything about them. They die and then you end up wasting money. What's your strategy for winterizing plants that can't survive in the cold? I guess my greenhouse, I don't really keep plants outside very often. I tend to take my plants outside on really beautiful days in the summertime, but then I bring them right back in. You know, some plants need more light than the winter can provide. So invest in some good Barina grow lights or whatever lights that you prefer. Have you ever participated in a plant swaps or gardening communities? The answer is no. Because I've been doing this journey, I have been connecting with a lot of the plant community here in Denver and elsewhere, and it's introducing me to a lot of the fun events that actually go on here in Denver. So I'm really excited to start attending those events with some of my friends and those experiences off to you guys here on the channel, because I think that it would just be fun. If you know of any good ones here in Denver or in Colorado, please comment below, let me know, because I'm very curious. Do you have any plant related goals for the upcoming year? I feel like this question is super fantastic to end this episode with, because of course I have tons of goals for this year. I would love to have more plants in my collection, extending out of just purchasing Hoyas. I would love to start getting some very fun variegations, cultivars, maybe even try to adventure in Alocasia realm of the world. Not quite Anthurium because they're just so beautiful. I don't want to kill them, but yeah, those are my goals. But then also just to continue cranking out some really great videos for you guys, connecting with the wider plant community, traveling more. I really appreciate you guys joining me here on PBJ, as I've learned so much in the past 2 months. It's been really cool, and just to have those that watch my videos to the end, it's so cool having your support. It's really neat. If you've also made it this far, please comment down below like any fun plant idea videos that you have, or any tips and tricks that you have that I haven't thought of. It would be super helpful for me in my journey as a plant collector, and then also just bringing our community together. I think it would be super fun. So anyway, thank you for joining for another episode of PBJ. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps me, and also comment any of the stuff that I said before, or I'm excited to see you on the next one. Bye.